What's up, everyone, and welcome back
Well,
to a brand new episode of from the Cove podcast. I'm your host, Marcelo, and today we have a very special guest, my man, Nick Biega out of Ohio State. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro. Very blessed to be here. It's gonna be good. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, me and you have been talking about this for a while, and also I've known you forever since we were little kids. So obviously, just to see your journey is absolutely incredible. But let me give you a proper intro. Nick Biega, Ohio State Track and Field 2025 USTF CCCA Outdoor All-American Honorable Mention, which is absolutely incredible for the 4x100 meter relay. Ohio State Scholar Athlete, All Academic Big Ten 2025 Hoosier Horsepower Classic 200-meter champion. And then he's also the classic champion in the 4x400-meter relay team and the 2025 USF Invite Championship 4x100-meter relay team. Nick, you've been a part of some fantastic teams. And then prior to Ohio State, you led it all 4 years as a sprinter at Mayfield High School. You won multiple state championships and regional championships. And you hold the all-time school record in the 100-meter, 200, and 4x200-meter relay. Nick, your resume is absolutely incredible, brother. So it is an honor to have you on the pod.
Thank you for having me, bro. I'm super excited.
Yeah, so obviously being named a 2025 Outdoor All-American honorable mention for the 4x100-meter relay is huge. One of the highest national recognitions in college track. So what did that moment mean to you, and what kind of work did went into getting there?
So the moment was extremely amazing. I mean, we're competing on ESPN. People all around Mayfield are watching. It's just like I'm super grateful because, everyone's watching. It's like crazy just running on ESPN, everyone's watching, but like the training going into it, dude, it's like, we'll get out of season around mid-June after Natties, which was last year. It took 3 to 4 weeks off. And then we'll get right back to training start in July. And then, we'll go from July all the way to June next year's Natties. So that's like 11 months of training. You got to stay on top of your body. It's a lot, but it's very doable. And, just competing at the next level, it's insane. It's a whole new thing. It's just a ton, all these kids like look up to me. It's really cool because competing at the next level, it's a whole other thing. And just seeing people like love watching me do it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and what's great about it is that obviously the relay races are, they are crazy. I mean, you have to hand off the what is it like the baton. I'm not too familiar with track, but
It's tough. It's tough.
yeah,
It's super tough. And
yeah,
because if you run up on somebody, you lose all your momentum. Because the main objective of running a 4x1 is not losing the momentum of the stick, which is the baton. And if the stick, slows down in any way, you can get super behind. And that's the last thing you want to happen. So we're constantly practicing, 2, 3 times a week at practice, really hitting top end speeds. And we take a certain amount of steps. So when they hit the tape, we set a piece of tape down. When they hit the tape, you got to go. And if you get out too slow, they're gonna run up on you. The momentum of the baton's gonna slow down, and it's gonna mess up the whole race. And that's the last thing you want to happen. So it takes a lot to get a really crisp team going.
yeah, and like it seems like it's almost all about timing and chemistry. Like it's almost like you have to have both working at the same time. And obviously, with your relay team, I mean, to like receive that award is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, bro. It's very blessed, also very bittersweet because the standard here is to win. Um, we got, I think it was 17th or something, but we made it out of regionals. Not many teams go there, but we also we had a really good athlete coming in this year, freshman. I think he was like maybe top five, top 10 in the country at his age for the 100. So we really got a lot of depth on this team this year, and we should be able to do something for sure.
Wow, great. I am super excited to see how you guys do. But you also ran a 20.55 in the 200-meter at the NCAA quarterfinals, which is absolutely incredible. 20 seconds, unreal. So one of the fastest times in the country and good enough to make you fifth fastest runner in Ohio State history at the 200-meter. Absolutely incredible. What clicked for you that day, and what kind of preparation helped you drop your time so significantly from last season?
So actually going into that meet, I think top 48 make regionals. I was 47th. So
Wow.
I just made it in. You know, all the way leading up to that point in the season, our volume is, we'll start in July. So we gotta load our bodies. Our bodies are always feeling heavy and towards, till that time of the year when we really want to run fast, we'll deload a couple weeks before that. We'll start to deload and deload. So our body feel lighter and we feel faster. But that was honestly the first time I felt good. So we ran the prelim. So that was the final. I ran 20.5 in the prelim. We ran it 2 days before. I ran it at I was supposed to run, I think it was 7 maybe. And it got pushed all the way back to 12:45 a.m. So I ran super late in the night. And it was like my body felt like you would think like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting this whole day to run. I'm not going to feel good. I still felt the best I have all year. So I was like, yeah, if I just make it through this round, because mind you, it was raining the whole time before the track was soaked. So I was like, as long as I make it through this round today and I feel good in 2 days, I know I'm going to run some. And that's what happened. So it was really awesome. But yeah, it was great.
Wow. So then like where did like this like meet take place? Was it at OSU? Was it somewhere else?
So we were in Jacksonville. We were at UNF, University of North Florida. There's two regions in track. There's the East region and the West region. So we were in the East, and that's most of the SEC schools, Georgia, Tennessee, a lot of those guys. And it was at a UNF, so yeah.
Wow, awesome, brother. And too, I mean, the fact that you ran that late at night and obviously performed so well. I mean, obviously all of your hard work, your training, your preparation, everything went into that. And bro, that is absolutely incredible. So congrats on that. And thinking back to your freshman year to where you are now as one of Ohio State's top sprinters, what's been the toughest part of your journey so far, mentally or physically, and how did you push through it?
So the toughest part of my journey, I would say so far is I've pushed through it already, I would say. But, senior to freshman year, senior year of high school to freshman year of college, I ran my senior year 20.9, and then I get to Ohio State. I don't I don't run anything near that. I think it might have been 21.4. I was like, dang, I'm a half a second slower than I was last year. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, what do I gotta change? So that was a really hard thing to go through. Um, Definitely mentally was the hardest part because people around you are succeeding. Everybody's going crazy. Like we had a big freshman class. Um, a few of my boys, Mason, he was doing great. He won the Big Ten. He was a freshman Big Ten champion in the 400 inside.
Wow.
Um, Braxton, he got second in two events, and it was like, dude, like everyone's succeeding. What's going on? So it was really hard to get over that hump. And also, when people come into college, some kids don't do good in this sport because you're on a whole different training program, and you don't know if it's going to work for you. I mean, there's kids who come out of high school as some of the top guys. Get to college, they don't do anything because it's a whole new training program. Either their lifestyle habits aren't good, or some people can't handle the training. Some people always get hurt because they're not taking care of their bodies, all that stuff. But it was definitely the mental part because a lot of overthinking I had to overcome.
Wow. So like do you think obviously with track and like other sports you've played throughout your time, do you think it's all like mental more than physical at some points?
So I would think it is a lot more mental than physical at points because a lot of these other sports, these team sports, football, basketball, all the team sports, it's on you, but in track it's like individual because you got to run the time for yourself. In a relay, yeah, somebody can bring you back and do a little better than you like on that relay, but when it's an individual event, bro, it's just you. Like it's like golf, bro. It's individual. Like you gotta show up and you're the only one who can like make yourself win. Like there's not like someone who can come hold your hand and win the race for you. It's not what happens. So yeah, I would say mental is huge.
Wow. Yeah. And then so like do you do any like meditation or do you do anything that has really helped like your mental game?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with Wim Hof.
Of course, of
A
course.
a big supporter of Wim. I would say I started watching him back in high school, and it was like, dang, like there was this one video where him and a bunch of people like climbed up a mountain in like swim trunks, and it was insane. I didn't get frostbite, nothing. So I really got into his, breathing exercises, and I would really say those have helped. I always do. I try to do those a few times a week before bed. It definitely helps me.
Yeah, no, meditation is absolutely awesome. I'm a big supporter of Wim. Obviously, all of his videos and all of his resources are free, and I feel like people don't take advantage of that. I mean, obviously, there's videos, there's breathing techniques, everything is out there on YouTube, and you could really like. I feel like most people don't understand that there's so many tools with like meditation and things like that that can really improve their mental game. And like obviously during, hard times in my life, like meditation has always been key and it just, calms down your nervous system and you just feel fantastic after.
Yeah, because like when you do his breathing exercises are kind of like it might be 30, it's like 30 deep breaths and then a long hold.
Yeah.
Like you can you would never think you can hold your breath for 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And then when you do his exercise, it's like the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, bro. Like I would have never thought I could hold my breath for that long. And it's like nothing. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's for real. So looking ahead to your upcoming season, what's one goal that you're focused on and what does it mean to you to represent Ohio State every time you put on that uniform?
One goal that I would have is definitely the 200 school record. It's 2014 by a guy not too long ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. But that's a school record. That's my big goal. Definitely the biggest goal. I do want to get my name on the record board. That would be my most feasible goal I think I can get. I just got to, stay grinding, stay eating right, stay doing all the right stuff. I also definitely want a Big Ten championship in any event, 200, 100, 4x1. But I really think that we also got a good chance at that 4x1 this year. We got a couple schools that are competitors, but with our squad this year, I really think we can do that too. But the main goal, school record and getting a Big Ten championship for sure.
Wow, awesome. And then going back to Mayfield, obviously where it all started, you were a 4-year letterman and state and region with state and regional titles, school records in the 100, 200, 4x200. Plus, you broke Robert Smith's regional record and Ted Ginn's 200-meter I'm sorry, district record. What stands out the most about your high school career and what lessons did it teach you?
Dude, high school was a big learning curve because I would say, like you learn a lot of discipline and you learn that if you want to be great, no one's gonna hold your hand, no one's gonna do it for you. One thing I really learned was like discipline, like I said, like, you know, I'm getting home some of these nights, 9 p.m., like 9:30 p.m. from training. I'm getting out of school at, 3. I'm going home, eating a snack before practice. I'm practicing, 4 to 7, 7 to 8, 8:30, I'm lifting. Then I got to stretch after lift, obviously roll out, and I'm getting home at 9. It's like if you really want to be great and get to the next level, you gotta do every single thing you can, especially if you want to compete at the highest level for sure. But definitely the biggest thing was if you want to be great, you gotta do it. You can't. Yeah.
Yeah. So like what's what's one thing that always like motivates you? I feel like a lot of people, for example, they'll lose motivation quick if something isn't working or if they're failing too many times. Like what keeps you motivated every day just to keep going, even when times get tough?
I mean, definitely having faith in the Lord to bring me to where I want to be. And, if it's not planned, it's not planned. Like, there's no reason to stress about anything. Like, I try to just have the thoughts like, why worry? Because if you worry, it's just going to get worse. Like, there's no point in worrying. It's just not stressing, just having faith and just stay doing the right things. And you're going to be blessed. You're going to be rewarded for your hard work. And it always happens. It always works out. Even if it doesn't work out in the way you want it to work out, it's going to work out for you in another way. So there's absolutely, no reason to worry. that's kind of what my thought is behind things is, yeah, I may want this to happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. It may not happen, in a year. It may never happen, but at the end of the day, we're all blessed. It doesn't matter because we always got something going for us.
Yeah, like and honestly, I always live by I think it's called rejection is redirection. So it's like, listen, if something is not meant for you, like the Lord is going to push you in a different direction that you never even would have
Exactly.
thought of.
Exactly.
So it's I feel like just a lot of people are just so like down on themselves today, but it's like, hey, things are always a work in progress. Like for example, like this podcast, like yeah, some episodes may not be great, some may be fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so it's like, hey, you just got to keep on going to the next one, and you never know what could happen.
I mean, yeah, you never know. It may not even be sports. It may not even be sports for you. It may not be school. It may not be anything, but you may get some crazy opportunity that you didn't even know was coming. And you always gotta just whatever's handed to you, whatever the Lord gives you, you just gotta attack it. Cause you never know when it's like you never know what's your last day. You never know if you're in sports when you're gonna get hurt. And you always just gotta go 100% for sure.
So true, brother. So, how did you first get started with track? And was there a specific moment where it clicked and you kind of knew that you could take your game to the next level?
Yeah, for sure. So I started track when I was in seventh grade. I kind of just did it because I knew I had some speed. I knew I was fast. I never knew the level I could, perform at, but I just did it because I was fast. Seventh to eighth grade, it was fun. Eighth grade, I think I got fifth or sixth in 100 in the state. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can do something with this. But I would say the main part I realized that I could have a future in this was about my sophomore year because I didn't have a freshman outdoor because of COVID, just had an indoor. So my sophomore year was really when it got going. Um, it was indoor. I ran a 200, and at that time, I was the number one 200-meter sprinter in the whole sophomore class in the country. So I was like, wow, like, yeah, I can actually do some with this. So I got to keep grinding. Like, I got to keep going because there's a chance. There's definitely a possibility that I can do some things.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is that obviously when you were ranked so high, you were actually talking to Danny Duncan about potentially like what is it racing him or sprinting against him?
We were just talking. I just texted him one day and he replied and we were just chatting it up. It was cool. He wants to get here to, do a photo shoot in the unis, but that would be fun. I don't know yet.
Wow. So then if he came to OSU, would you challenge him in a race?
We may mess around and do it, but who knows? Nah. I still got to talk to my coaches about that because with Ohio State policies and everything, I don't know if they would let somebody do that and come and take a photo shoot in the unis. We'll see, but that was something that we were talking about doing. But yeah, that would be a
Yeah.
cool.
Wow. Crazy. Yeah, I know. When I was going through all of my like questions and stuff, I actually like remember when like you were talking to me like about that. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that that actually happened."
Yeah, one day, because I knew. So the reason I texted him was because I knew he ran track in high school. Because I was watching his YouTube videos a lot, and he ran track in high school, and I was just like, screw it, like I'm gonna text him, whatever. So he was like, dude, like that's dope, all that stuff, and we started chatting.
Wow. Crazy. Crazy.
It would be sick if he could come and do a photo shoot in the unis and we could hang out. That would be cool, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, who knows? So obviously I've known you for a long time from growing up together to reffing basketball games together, and then now seeing you compete at Ohio State. What has having the support of your friends and family throughout all those stages mean to you?
Dude, massive. I definitely would not be here without the people that I had in my life and the people that really supported me, my friends, my mom, my dad, my sister. I mean, like I said, when I was training in high school, I was getting home at some nights 9:30, 10 p.m. because we would have, a block. We'd do blocks one day. It would take a while, but I would lift, every night like 7 to 8:30. I lived 4 days a week in high school. And it was just like a lot, like I said, I get home at 9. One great thing was diet. And like my dad would be texting me at 9 p.m. some nights. He'd be like, yo, Nick, what do you want me to cook you for dinner tonight? Like, I know you got to eat well. And I wouldn't have time to get home, make chicken breast, green beans, all that stuff. I wouldn't have time for that. So while I'm practicing, he's whipping me up dinner. While I'm lifting, he's whipping me up dinner. And that was a big supporter for me was my dad would do that. And, my mom's like the mental part where she's always talking to me, always checking on me, how I'm doing. And we're always in contact. And my sister just kind of backs all that. Whatever, if there's a weak spot, my sister will always come in, just make sure I'm doing good and always give me the resources I need.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. And it's so true. I mean, when you have like your family just like behind your back and supporting you in your dreams, I mean, the confidence and your ability to succeed is just unmatched.
It's also so much easier because, it takes all that stress off my shoulders when, like I said, my dad's cooking my dinner, all that stuff. It's just so easy to and so good to know that I can come home. I'm not gonna have to, rush a meal together and not get the proper nutrients in my body. It's gonna be there for me. So I'm really grateful. I'm really blessed to have that foundation of my family and my life. And like my boys always coming to my track meets. My boys always text me, bro, like, dude, like proud of you, all that stuff. It was really, really inspirational. And yeah, I'm really grateful for all of it.
Wow. And two, I'm sure it's awesome to have all of your supporters in like the stands in that stadium. I mean, I'm sure that just like fires you up.
Dude, yeah, it was good because like Mayfield, bro, like, like we're a community. Like all these people rock with each other. Like we all got each other's backs and all my dad's friends, maybe people I didn't even know, they would come and watch me and it was just really motivational to see that I had the respect of so many people and I'm extremely dude, super grateful for that.
Yeah, and it's so true. I mean, from like the previous Mayfield kids that like I've had on this podcast, like it's so true how our like community is so tight and how we always want to see each other win. Like even if that's in sports and life, anything, we truly have a supportive group of people. And and most importantly though, it comes from the people in our like grades, in our classes, everything. I mean, there are so many people doing so many cool things, and obviously, seeing you performing at such a high level, like it is absolutely incredible, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah. I'm very blessed. Definitely the kids, like even people who don't know, even people who like I may not talk to a lot, bro. Like they'll see some on Instagram, they'll always DM me, and it's just like it's just cool knowing that everyone's got each other's back. Everyone is always rooting for everyone. So it's super, super awesome.
Yeah. So this podcast is all about real stories for the ones still chasing theirs, even though when no one's watching. Track is obviously a perfect example. So much of your progress happens in quiet, unseen moments. So how does that idea connect to your journey and the work that you put in when no one's watching?
Dude, like it's super big, Some nights, like some days you don't want to do this crazy workout, in high school especially I was working out alone. I didn't really have a training group like I did now. So I would be doing, running 300s, running 350s, sometimes running 400s in practice. And I'm literally at the end of the workout on the ground, like wheezing, like sometimes throwing up. And it's like, it's just a lot. But being able to have the motivation and discipline to get me through that is it's just great because at the end of the day, like I said, why worry? If someone wants to go your way, it's gonna go your way. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's all good. But to the point, like back back to when I said like my diet, all that stuff, it's a lot when no one's watching because like some people don't know what you're doing, but only you do. So it's cool to just do stuff like that.
Yeah, and like I feel like the best workouts are the ones where like no one's watching. If you're in like a group setting, it's almost like you may have other people, watching you trying to, beat you in like a certain competition or like a certain like lift or a certain max. I feel like when you're really by yourself, you just kind of just dial in and you're like, hey, no one's watching me. I can really, work so hard and the work is eventually going to pay off on the larger stage.
And like even this year, so this year my schedule in the first half of the year in the first semester, I just practiced with one other person 4 days a week because we got a class. So it's sort of very similar to high school, and I kind of like it because I can really fine tune my parts of my races and my parts of my, lifts, all that stuff, and really focus on myself without having like a lot of distractions sometimes. So it's really good. I really like working out alone sometimes because you can, really fine tune what you got to get done that day.
Yeah, so true, brother. But is there one quote that you live by every day?
Yes, I have it written down right up here.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually have it already written down. Look at this every day. It's by Will Rogers. It says, I know worrying works because none of the stuff I worried about ever happened. So that gets to my point of if you're gonna constantly stress about something, constantly worry about something, it's gonna be so much harder to achieve that goal than just you gotta let it happen. You gotta let it happen. You gotta have faith. You gotta have patience. You gotta have focus. One of the things my coach really preaches because he knows how I struggled my freshman year. And then I really, really, really had to trust my coaches to run fast my second year. And that was a really big hump I had to get over. But really just letting it go, trusting your preparation, trusting your training, not worrying made things a lot easier for me. So really reading this quote every day is like a big reminder that if you constantly worry, it's going to be much harder to get it done.
Wow, great. And then is there anything that you would like to say to anyone out there that is trying to achieve their dreams, trying to reach their goals that may feel unseen or may not feel like it's like working out for them?
First of all, do not let anyone tell you you cannot do something. There was definitely a lot of people, not a lot of people, but maybe a lot of doubters I had in high school that I wouldn't make it to this level, all this stuff. But if you really want to be great, you gotta, especially in the sport of track, you gotta stay on top of your body because you are pushing, your muscle fibers to the max every single day. And if you really want to be great, you got to be eating right. You got to stretch and foam roll every night. You got to take your supplements. You got to sleep at the right times. You can't go out. But if you really put your mind to it, I mean, anything's possible. You can get to the next level. You can do anything.
Great, brother. Well, Nick, thank you very much for hopping on this pod, doing this episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's always great to catch up with you, and obviously seeing your journey, seeing your progress through everything. It's just fantastic, and obviously, I am rooting for you. A lot of people out there are rooting for you. So keep on being great, brother, and I'm so excited. If
Bro. That was awesome.
Yeah, bro, it was so much fun. But that'll do it for the pod. Make sure you like, comment, sub, share with friends and family. And yeah, new episodes Tuesdays at noon. And that'll do it.
Sir.
And also too, use code Lions Co out there.
Sir.
Peace.
Peace.